7 indicators that you're a very gorgeous dude. You probably didn't realize this, but research indicates that beauty is about a lot more than appearances. According to psychological research, characteristics like confidence, body language, and how others perceive you are more powerful predictors of beauty than features like muscular strength or face symmetry. Here's where it gets interesting. There's a strong chance you're currently sending off these signals without even recognizing it. Welcome to Bon Chronique, your go-to channel for relatable guidance on managing the complexity of love and relationships. You'll learn the secret indicators that show you're more attractive than you believe by the end of this video. And if you watch through to the end, we've got a powerful bonus point just for you. Have you ever seen a woman play with her hair while you're speaking to her? Or perhaps she laughs at something you said that wasn't even meant to be funny? If this has happened to you more than once, there's a reason why. You make her nervous, and that's a strong sign of attraction. When a woman is around a man she finds attractive, she may unconsciously exhibit uneasy behaviors. For example, she may shift her weight from one foot to another, change her clothing, or blush slightly. Some women will also maintain eye contact for longer than usual. Others, however, will completely avoid it because it's an instinctual reflex. This occurs as a result of attraction activating the brain's autonomic nervous system, which regulates involuntary reactions like trembling hands or a racing heart. Research from Dr. Monica Moore at St. Louis University confirms that these nonverbal cues are major indicators of attraction. Imagine this. You're at a coffee shop and a woman keeps tucking her hair behind her ear while talking to you. She giggles at things that aren't even jokes, and you can tell. She's unsure where to put her hands. These behaviors aren't random, they're instinctual reactions to your presence. If you notice women getting nervous around you, take it as a sign you've got something that makes an impact. Whether you realize it or not, sign 2 other men act differently around you. Attraction doesn't just affect how women react to you, it also changes the way men behave in your presence. If you've ever felt like other guys try to one-up you in conversations, act dismissive, or subtly compete with you, this could be why some men will try to assert dominance when they perceive you as a social threat. They'll interrupt, flex their achievements, or downplay yours. Others might give you the classic fake smile cordial on the surface, but if you look closely, you'll see the tension. Imagine this. You're in a group setting, telling a casual story about a recent trip. The moment you finish, another guy jumps in with, "Oh yeah, I actually did something similar." But even crazier, it's not a coincidence. He's trying to establish himself as the top guy in the room. This happens because men instinctively assess each other's status in social hierarchies. Harvard University research on dominance. It's not just about appearances, it's also about how you carry yourself, the confidence in your voice, and how other men react to you. If you notice other men acting differently around you, either trying to compete or acting cold, it's usually because they see something in you that makes them feel like they need to step up their game. Sign 3 women challenge you. This is something that most men are unaware of when a woman teases you, shows no emotion, or gives you quick tests. It's actually advantageous since it indicates that she values you highly. A woman may confront you during a chat, add snarky comments, or act unimpressed, and she might text you back later than normal, or make a joke about how the best you have isn't because she doesn't like you, but rather because women have high standards for themselves. Men should affirm that they are not easily influenced by feelings of insecurity or a need for approval. A confident man plays along, doesn't take it personally, and even throws the teasing right back picture. For example, if a woman says, "I don't know, you don't seem as interesting as I thought you'd be," the average guy would try to defend himself by enumerating all the reasons why he is interesting. but a truly attractive man would just smile and say, "That's okay." In contrast, if a man tries to prove himself right away, it's an instant turnoff. I don't recall ever asking for her approval when I applied for the job of impressing you. Anyone who has ever entered a room and seen others quietly turning their heads will find that you are more attractive the more laid back and playful you are during these times. If males seem to assess you by changing their posture when they notice you, or if women give you fleeting glances but quickly turn away when you see them, if this occurs to you frequently, it's not a coincidence. Science research on eye tracking have shown that handsome guys automatically attract attention without trying. It's not only about your appearance, it's also about the energy you carry, the way you move, and the presence you bring into a space. Behavior demonstrates that women unconsciously stare longer at men they find attractive, even when they aren't aware they are doing it. The brain detects confidence, posture, and facial expressions before logic even enters the picture. If you've ever been in a public setting and someone was staring at you but quickly turned away, it wasn't an accident. Their subconscious was drawn to you before they could even process why. If you frequently feel like you're being watched when you enter a room, it's because your presence speaks before you even say a word. Sign 5, you receive special treatment without asking. Have you ever had a barista remember your order even when the guy in front of you had to repeat it twice? Or perhaps you've entered a store and someone offers assistance before you even ask for it. It's not luck if you've observed this type of preferential treatment. It indicates that people are drawn to you on an instinctual level. There is a subtle unconscious bias in favor of attractive men. People listen more intently, smile more, and occasionally go above and above without even realizing it. This occurs as a result of the halo effect, a well-established psychological concept. People immediately link positive attributes like intelligence, friendliness, or competence with physical appearance, a cognitive bias known as the halo effect. In other words, when someone finds you pretty, they are more inclined to believe you're also likable. Consider it trustworthy and worth the extra work. It's not that these people intentionally choose to treat you better. Rather, their presence naturally elicits a positive response. For example, you may be at a cafe and the barista greets you with a bigger smile than the person in front of you. Or you may enter a hotel lobby and the staff appears to be more accommodating. The key takeaway: people's kindness towards you isn't random, it's a reflection of the presence you bring into the room. Sign 6, women get upset when you don't notice them. Here's a little known fact: sometimes, when a woman acts distant, gives short responses, or seems uninterested, it's not because she's ignoring you, it's because she wanted your attention and you didn't give it to her. Attractive men are used to being noticed. Women expect them to be the ones who get approached, acknowledged, or pursued. And when that doesn't happen, some women react in subtle, but telling ways. For example, you're at a party, and a woman who was previously engaging suddenly goes quiet when you don't flirt with her. Or maybe she laughs louder, exaggerates her movements, or becomes noticeably more animated, not for everyone, but just enough to make sure you notice. This happens because when a high-value man doesn't give attention, it feels like an absence. She might not even realize why she's frustrated, but deep down she's wondering, why isn't he paying attention to me? Getting ladies to notice you isn't the only aspect of appeal. It's also about what happens when you don't. If you ever notice ladies avoiding eye contact or behaving aloof, it's an indication that your presence has more power than you may realize, and that people believe you have choices. One of the best indicators that you're a handsome man isn't what people say. Rather, it's what they assume about you. Women naturally assume that if you're confident, put together, and charismatic, then other women must be interested in you. You'll notice this in small but telling ways. For example, A woman may joke that you tell this to all the girls, even if you've never said anything flirtatious. Or she may act a little flirtatious before you're even dating, subtly attempting to claim you in front of other women. Before anything serious occurs, some women may even be reluctant to pursue you because they think there is already competition and they don't want to emotionally invest in someone they think has too many options. Why does high value cause this to occur? If women act possessive before a relationship even begins, or if people assume you have a successful dating life even though you don't, it's because you exude the energy of someone who doesn't need to pursue you. If you've made it this far, drop attraction is more than just looks in the comments, so we know you're a real one. It lets us know you're part of the Bond Chronicle community and truly paying attention bonus. Men don't need to convince people that they're in demand. The most potent indication of all is that your energy changes the entire atmosphere when you walk into a room. This is not just about how attractive you are. It's also about the weight of your presence. When you walk in, people subtly change the conversation without even trying. You command attention, not in a haughty way, but in a way that makes people pay attention. Perhaps you've noticed this before. When you enter a room and, even without speaking, people look at you. When you join a conversation, someone naturally gives you space to speak. You don't have to ask for attention, it just happens. Charisma is an invisible force that isn't about being loud or controlling a room, but rather about confidence. People respond to that because studies on leadership presence show that people are drawn to people who project calm and certainty. When you project confidence, others automatically follow your lead. They pay more attention, change their posture, and mimic your gestures without even realizing it. One thing you should take away from this video is that attractiveness isn't just about appearances. It's also about how you make people feel. If you've ever noticed that people react differently when you show up, it's because your presence is felt before you even say a word. Work on your confidence, energy, and posture. Observe how others respond to you and realize that your presence alone may change the atmosphere of a room. Before you leave, remember to like this video to help the channel get more views. Please share this with someone who should hear it and subscribe for more daily material. We appreciate you viewing, and we hope to see you again tomorrow. Check out the next video that has been suggested for you on your screen.